Yo, peace, what's good? You guys read the title? You guys know what I want to talk about? This is my response to my dude Mike Sears. Shout out to him. It's on, my response to Mike Sears regarding to the Niggaz4life album by N.W.A. Pretty much he made a video a couple of days ago, talking about how, responded to critics, particularly from YouTube and stuff like that, and even like people in general, talking shit about the Niggaz4life album. People just the critics saying like how um, the Niggaz4life album, although the production was good, but the lyrics sucked and all that shit, and all this kind of shit. So Mike says my boy, like he was pretty much defending the album, and it's a dope video. I'll post it down in the description box. Definitely check it out. Leave your 2 cents on it. Like if you disagree, that's cool, but be respectful about it. You know what I'm saying? Um, if you disagree with it, if you agree with it, cool. Leave a comment, subscribe to him. He has a dope channel and stuff like that. My video is pretty much kind of like a continuation of that video because I agree with everything he said. I always felt that way. I've always felt like Niggaz4life was the better album than Straight Outta Compton. You know what I mean? Excuse me. I've said that when I did my Niggaz4life album review, which I did, I think last year. Yeah, it was last year I did it. It was actually the day of Straight Outta Compton coming out, the movie. Definitely check that out. And I just finished recording the 100 Miles of Running EP album review, which I did. If you haven't checked out, check that out. Um, yeah, man, Niggaz4life. That's a great album. To me, one of the best songs that came out in 1991. You know what I mean? And in my opinion, I feel like 1991 is a very underrated year when it comes to hip hop because I know there's a lot of my subscribers or my viewers, or my supporters, I should say, they tend to like anything. Not all, but some of the people that I know tend to like their favorite years in hip hop is either from like '93 to '96. Anything after that or before that, they don't really fuck with, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But um, the thing with my channel, I try to give you guys my honest opinion on certain things and how I feel because I'm not these fucking hipsters that you know they I was watching something on Facebook like a couple weeks ago. This cat was talking about chopped cheese, and like, he was talking about how these hipsters, you know they discover something that's been in the hood or whatever, that's been in that habitat for a while, and here you got these fucking dudes that just come out of nowhere, just want to live here, and he said it the best. Like he said something about, like let's say like you had something that's been common in the hood for a long time, beef patty and cocoa bread or chicken wings and fried rice or some shit like that, and then all you got these fucking outsiders coming to the hood, they discover that, oh my god, this is the best thing in the world. You know, if you want this, you could get like that. But what they don't realize is that that's been in the hood for a while. But you guys trying to make it seem like it's a new thing. It might be new to you, but don't make it new to the hood, cause I mean to the world, cause everybody knows about it. But he said it best, like these cats with the Columbus syndrome, and that's how I feel with some, you know, people with like in media. Guys, sorry about that's my phone. Um, you know, they have the Columbus syndrome. It's kind of like, how the story of Christopher Columbus, like he discovered America, which was bullshit, and took over, killed all the Native Americans, and called their heads or whatever. You already know, and it's the same thing with all the the other countries, the West Indies and things like that. That's how I feel with these hipsters. But I'm getting off topic. But these same cats are the same people that will talk shit about Niggaz4life. Like they'll praise Straight Outta Compton, but won't praise Niggaz4life only because Ice Cube left the group, and they're saying like, oh, without Ice Cube, the group isn't that good, which I think is bullshit because I felt like Ice Cube was dope and he was very dope, but I was watching King T's interview with DJ Vlad, and there were certain songs that he didn't write for some of those songs. Like King T wrote some of his songs. I think one of them and Delta Funk and Homo Sapien, I believe, wrote some of Ice Cube songs on the first two albums at least. I believe one of the songs was Gangsta Fairy Tale being one of them. I think King T or Delta Funk and Homo Sapien wrote those songs for him. And when you think about it, it kind of makes sense because, you would never thought that Ice Cube would make a song like that. Like he never did that on the first album. So I mean, well, not on the first album, but the first Straight Outta Compton album. And don't get me wrong, I respect Straight Outta Compton. I respect its contribution to hip hop and things like that. But I feel like when you listen to it, it hasn't really aged very well. You know what I mean? It's just like it doesn't have that. I don't know. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't have replay value in my opinion. Although when you do listen to it, the the subject matter is very relative to the today. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck the police. It talks about police brutality. It talks about women scheming motherfuckers and shit like that. Like, taking advantage of dudes and all the shit that they talk about in the first album. Yes, I'll give it that. It's as far as relativity wise of today, cause that's happening right now. Yes, I'll give it that credit. But production wise, to me, it doesn't stick out to me. I just can't listen to it all the time. It's like something that I consider like mood music. Like I have to be in a good mood to listen to that. Now, Niggas for Life, however, I feel like I could listen to that song all the time. I could listen to the album all the time. I just love the production. I like the aggressiveness of the album. And, you guys like say that, oh, the lyrics suck, they're not as good. You're not only discrediting N.W.A as a group, but you're discrediting MC Ren and you're discrediting D.O.C. because those two are the lyricists of the whole group. And MC Ren is nice with the pen. I feel like people don't give MC Ren the shine that he deserves. You know what I mean? He wrote for everybody in the group, and then Ice Cube was writing the lyrics too. Um, but I feel like MC Ren to me was the I don't know he was the star of the group in my opinion, but he was like the unsung hero of the group in my opinion. I feel like he deserves a lot more shine and his contributions to the game, in my opinion. I mean, look at albums like, Kiss My Black Ass EP, which I need to do a review on. Shock of the Hour, which I did a review on. The Villain in Black. It's just like how dark and gritty those albums are. I mean, come on, you can't go wrong with that. Even with Easy E's albums, like the It's on 187 Killer, that EP that he dropped back in '93, that was a dope EP. The Straight Off the Streets of motherfucking Compton, just how dope that shit was. I feel like Easy E gotten a lot better over the years, even though people was writing for him, but just his delivery, his charisma, everything about it is just so fucking dope. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna get to the whole misogynistic shit. Let me see how much time I got left. And the whole misogyny shit is like, yes, I do agree on the second album, and I did mention this on my review, is a lot more misogynistic compared to the first album. They focus more, on misogyny. Songs like Automobile, Final Fucking Freedom, She Swallowed It, I'd Rather Fuck You, joints like that. Yes, I do agree. They're a little very excessive. And I did say that if you cut two or three songs of like those songs, I think it would have been. I think it wouldn't have been as bad as people perceive it to be. But it is what it is. Like, let's keep it real, people. Um, we're sinners by nature. Nobody's perfect. They just telling like it is, like how they do, and they keeping it real. Is it right? No, but that's what it is. Let's not be hypocrites. And another thing too, some of these cats, they be saying like, oh, some people be praising like certain albums. Like, give you an example. Big L's first album, Lifestyle to the Point Dangerous. Everybody saying, oh, that's a hip hop classic. Oh my god, I love that album. Okay, but there's some a lot of fucked up shit that he says. In the song No Ends No Skins, that was a single off the album. There was a line where he said, I always stay fly. I'm just paraphrasing what he said, but he said, I always stay fly a girl asked me for a ring, I punched her in the eye, I gave her one around her whole eye. Like that's fucked up. You're promoting beating up women. That shit ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? And he had songs that were left off the album for a reason. He had a song called Devil's Son. He's talking about being the devil's son. You know what I mean? They had to take that off because that was crazy. Columbia, they didn't want him. And although I love horrorcore, but I understand why they took that off the album because it wouldn't be marketable. You see what I'm saying? In the excuse me, in the song Danger Zone, one of my favorite songs off the album, he had a line which I thought was fucked up. It was but it's entertainment at the end of the day. But he had a line where he said my gear always stay fresh. My braids always rugged. What was no my gear's always fresh. My braids stay rugged. I don't wear rubbers. If I catch AIDS, fuck it. I'm just paraphrasing what he said, but that's some scary shit because I've met people with AIDS. I've met people that died from AIDS. You see what I'm saying? But again, it's entertainment. I think some people take shit too literal. Another example, your boy Eminem, who he publicly shamed his mom and all that shit. Talked about how he raped her and killed his mom and shit like that. I can't respect that, man. You disrespecting your moms, man, and publicly too, for the whole world to hear. I can't respect that. And I know people are gonna say, well, him and his mom had a bad relationship. Yeah, that's no excuse, G. You don't do that. You're a grown ass man. I mean, yeah, she might have traumatized you when you was a young kid, but then you have to be the bigger person and try to reconcile that, man. And which they did. Thank you. I'm happy for that, but I can't respect that. And then in the song Kim, you talk about how he killed his wife and whatever, and there was a line which they censored on the album, where it said like, oh, by the way, there's a 4-year-old boy laying in the ground with his throat slit. Come on, son, like you killing little kids now, G? That shit ain't cool. That shit ain't I can't respect that, G. You know what I'm saying? Biggie, Ready to Die, another album people praise upon. There's a song called One More Chance. Everybody knows that song. But the version I'm talking about is the original version. It's not the one with Faith Evans. It's the original version. In the beginning of the song, you had the whole you had the little girls talking to the answer machine. All my daddy's calling for my daddy. Get off his dick. That girl had to be like no younger than 6 or 7 years old or 5, and that was Little Caesar's niece from what I read and shit. Come on, son. And y'all worried about N.W.A doing the whole album Niggaz4life? Come on, man. Come on, stop taking shit so literal, man. Let me see how much time I got left. Stop taking shit so literal, man. I mean, I can name a whole bunch of other shit, but it. You guys can have your opinions about Niggaz4life. Whatever. It's not a good album, cool, but have a good reason why it's not good. You just saying because it's misogynistic is not good enough. You know what I mean? Again, I feel like they stepped their game up. As far as delivery wise, and MC Ren, his pen got a lot better that year. And MC Ren is a dope MC, and like I said, he's my favorite MC out of the whole group. And what's crazy about that album, what Mike Sears said too, is that album's so dope. Like, it doesn't even sound like from 1991. Like, if you had dropped it in 1992, 1993, yo, it would have sounded just as dope. It doesn't sound dated like Compton's Straight Outta Compton does. But I'm running out of time. I don't want to step. I don't want to keep on. I would love to keep on going, but I got to do the whole stupid ass 15-minute block. But that's just my thoughts on that. But hope you guys enjoyed that video. Let me know what you guys think. Keep it positive. If you disagree, keep it civil, but be respectful. All right, peace.